Hello, this video will review how to create your e-portfolio using Google Sites. Now, to begin, before we go into Google Sites, I'm going to show you how to create another part of your portfolio, which is going to be your resume. And so you want to go ahead, I would just go ahead and do that first and create your resume in Google Docs, which you will then link to your Google site when you create it. So the first thing is you want to log into your Google account that you've been using. You want to come over here to the waffle and you want to go to Google Docs. Now you're welcome to, these are just, other things that you would have created or saved in your Google, into your Google Drive. You're welcome to create one from scratch, but I really encourage you to pick a resume format or template that's already been created here in Google Docs that you can just basically input your information in. So you can search up here at the top, resume, and it should pull some templates for you. You can also come here at the top and you can look at template gallery, and you can see different ones. So there's several little resumes that you can pick here. So you would just pick it and then it would be right here. And you just basically go in and fill out your information here. You can also change, of course, the colors if you want a different, color. You can do different colors if you prefer that. That is fine. Here with the line, you can change the line a different color to make it match. So you can do lots of little things here to basically create your resume. So once you are finished with it, you want to make sure here at the top to include your name. And you can just include your last name if you want to. And just make sure that it has resume in it as well. So then we want to come up here to the top and we want to do share. And we want to make sure that this is shared so that people can only view it. We don't want them the ability to edit it, but we do want them to be able to view it. And as of right now, you see it's restricted only to people. So if anyone clicked on this link, it would tell them they have to have access, and we don't want that. So here I want to change, and I want it to where anyone with the link can view. I don't want it to where they can comment or edit. I want it to where they can view it. And then I'm going to choose done. So that's what we have thus far in terms of creating our resume. So you want to go ahead and I would get that out of the way first. So now we're going to go ahead and start creating our site. So we're going to just open another Google tab, come to the waffle area and find Google Sites here listed. And if you don't have it listed here, you can just literally type in Google Sites and it will pull the link here. All right, so what I want to do is create a new Google site. So I'm just going to start with a blank one. And you can pick whatever theme you want here. Over on the side, you can pick whichever theme you prefer. It's 100% up to you. And so you do want to change the page title to your name, portfolio, so that it is evident. So you do want to make sure that it is named that on this large image area. And then what you want to do is go ahead and enter your site name up here at the top. And I definitely encourage you to just, again, use your first and last name and then portfolio. And so when you do that, it is going to create the name. It's going to name it up here at the top. So if you do happen to go out of the site and come back later to edit it, you want to make sure that it'll be named appropriately so you can easily find it. Okay, so the next thing, you can go ahead and start adding in some basic information. If you want to add a different background to your header, that's fine. You can do change image, and I'll just select an image. And I'll just pick something nice, and maybe professional looking, maybe just a color, something that, shows who I am, but also shows, that that I am professional. And then the next thing that you want to add, this is what's going to be, we're going to call this our landing page. So this is what we're going to include our resume link on, our introduction of ourselves, all that good information. So what I want to do is come over here to insert, and I want to insert a text box. And here might be where I introduce myself. So here I just typed up a little paragraph about myself. You want to be careful about the information that you include. You don't want, because this is a website, a public facing website, so you want to be careful about how much information you give. But you might include, including your name, the college that you're graduating from, what your degree will be in, making note that you will be Georgia licensed. To be a teacher, because that will be a very important factor. And again, the whole goal of this is to give this link or this online portfolio to potential employers. So you want to make sure what you say is friendly and nice, but also professional. So I'll leave that up to your discretion of how much you want to include in this. But again, you do want to make sure to tell them that you are graduating from Gordon State College, that you are getting what you are getting a degree in, and what your that you will have a Georgia state license. So you can change up the text here. Just be careful with making it a title or a heading. Those are usually reserved for, again, like headings or whatnot. For the most part, your regular text just needs to be on the small version, or the subheading version is fine. You just want to be careful about what types of headings you're using, or probably just normal text is fine. You just want to avoid those title and headings for actual titles and headings. So the next thing that you want to include is an image of yourself, and you can pick whatever image you want, again, as long as it is professional. It doesn't have to be an actual headshot or anything, just as long as it looks decent and shows who you are, but is appropriate. And so we're going to come over here to images, and we can choose to upload an image, or we can select an image if we already have an image living on our Google Drive. If I already have an image here in my Google Drive that I've uploaded, I can do so there. If not, I can just upload an image from my actual computer. All right, so notice it included my image here. Now, this might look a little weird with this extra space, so it's up to you to choose. You might have it, you might drag and drop it to where it is beside your text. You might have it to where you put it above your text and maybe make it smaller, to where it's not, super large, or spread it out some. So again, it's really up to you of how you want to do the layout here, but it's you just want to make sure that it's a good size, not too large, not too small. Now what I want to do is give some directions for navigating my portfolio. So just maybe down here below, I'll include something like, to see the pages of my portfolio, click in the upper right corner of the of this page. The pages in my portfolio include, and as of right now, you're only going to be required for this assignment to have a technology integration page. But I honestly would encourage you to go ahead and use this portfolio to link up the other assignments that you're doing in your other classes, for literacy, integration page, special education integration page, etc. So I would go ahead and create pages to display all the assignments and projects that you're doing in your classes. I would organize them here on one big portfolio. But again, for this assignment, you're only required to have the landing page as well as the technology integration page. Okay, so I'm going to come back to this in a minute of where we're going to actually create those pages. But what we're going to do next is we're going to include a link to our resume. Now, how I would do it if I were you to really highlight it is I would come up here and choose another text box. And I would say, click here to view my resume. And I would change that to be a little bit bigger. I would change the section background. I would do something. You can even select an image if you want it to kind of match. And so this is where you want to really highlight, so they don't miss this. Okay, so now we want to link this to that Google Doc that we just created. So I will just choose here. I'll go to Insert Link. I'll come right back over here and get that share. So remember, I just got this and shared it and made sure, remember, that it's going to be anyone can view. We want to make sure it's anyone can view, not edit. Then I'm going to copy that link, come right in and paste it here. And now my Google Doc resume will be saved or linked right here on my portfolio. So that's all you really need to do on the landing page. Again, your name, your photo, a little description about yourself, a little bit of the navigation of how to navigate the portfolio, and then the link to your Google Doc resume. So the next thing we want to do is create those extra pages. So we're going to come over here to the side. We're going to choose Pages. And then we're going to click this little button here to add a new page. And we're going to name it Technology Integration Page. And so notice when I press enter, up right here at the top, I've got my home page, which is my landing page, and then it automatically created me a technology integration page. Now, if I was making more pages, no big deal. I would come here and choose new page, and then literacy integration page, and special ed integration page, so on and so forth. And all it's going to do is automatically create little tabs up here at the top for them to be able to navigate. And you can come here and move these around if you want to. If you want one before the other, etc., you can move these around. All right, so now that we've created that, our next thing is going to be to fill out the technology integration page. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to link in all of the different tools that we've created in this class. So you're all going to link them on one page, so organization is going to be key. So what I would do is come to Insert, and I would make a text box, and I would just first explain what this page is doing. All right, so I have a little explainer. Then the next thing I want to do is make a new text box, and these are going to be my headers for each of my technology tools. So say that I'm doing one for my interactive Google slide that I created. So I would name it Interactive Google Slides. I would encourage you to color it to where it's going to have, a specific, so to help organize it. And then you're going to add a new text box, and then you're going to give the summary of what it is, what the tool does, all of that stuff that's located in your grading sheet. So you're going to fill that out here. All right, so I've kind of filled out based upon the rubric. So this is, what is it? You're explaining what is the tool, what are interactive Google Slides. And then you're explaining how this can enhance learning. And this is what aligns to the SAMR model. You don't actually have to call out the SAMR model itself, but you're explaining how is this tool enhancing learning beyond just the regular paper and pencil or whatever you might be doing. Why is it worth using? And then how this can be used. So here you're wanting to explain specifically how you used it in the creation of your interactive Google Slides. So I specifically talked about I created one for fiction versus nonfiction and coin values. I also made sure to put the standard in that it aligns with, as well as I gave 2 other use cases. So I said it could be used for a weekly newsletter, or it could be used to create a library of books. So I gave 2 other use cases. And then I created a who can use this, and this is where I gave the grade level appropriation. So I said any grade level can interact with the Google slide. Older elementary grades might be able to create their own. Okay, so that's the text that I needed to include for that particular project or that particular activity. So now what I'm going to do is actually include a link to my actual interactive Google slide. So what I need to do now is actually go into my Google Drive and find my interactive Google slide that I created. So again, you want to be careful to keep up with all these links of the items that you're using because you're going to need to be able to use these again. And so then I'm going to come up here to the top, choose share. Remember, anyone can view because we want them to be able to view, not edit. And we're going to copy that link. We're going to come right back over here, and then we can come in and put something like, click here to view my interactive Google slide. Then I can highlight that. I can add in my link, and there it is. Then I would move on to my next header. So it might be, in this case, I'm going to get a new header, and I'm going to say Cahoots. And I'm going to make it match my previous header so that everything's nice and synced. And then I would answer the same questions for my Kahoot and link it in. And you would continue to do that for all of the slides that you had. Now that is all that is required, but if you notice, that's going to look very text heavy by the time you get done with it. There's not a lot of pictures going on. So there is a way that you can spice this up and make it a little bit easier and add in images. So I would encourage you to do this. It is a little bit more complicated, and you might not do it for every single one. You might just do it for the ones that, seem applicable or easy to do it with or make sense to do it with. So I'll show you how to do that. So what if in my interactive, instead of having a link right here, what if I actually wanted to have the image there? So what I can do is I can open up regular PowerPoint on my computer, so the actual application PowerPoint on my computer. And I'm going to actually take a screenshot of this slide. So I opened up a blank PowerPoint. I'm going to go to Insert, Screenshot, Screen Clipping, and I'm just going to draw myself a little box around this. And now I have an actual image of my Google Classroom slide. So I'm going to right click that, and I'm going to save picture. And I'm just going to save it to my desktop for this second. All right, so now what I can do is I can go back to my portfolio, and what I might do is just slide this over a little bit, and I might do images, upload image, and I might upload that image that I just saved. Okay, and then I can move this over. And now I can say something like, click on the image to view my Google slide. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the link to my interactive Google slide like I just had before. And I'm going to click on the picture itself, choose link, and then drop that link in. So now they're able to read about it and then click on the image itself to open up my interactive slide. So that way you have images included. I prefer this method for most of yours just to kind of break up the monotony of text. All right, so now you would continue so on and so forth, and then after you are completed with that, you are basically finished with your portfolio. So you just want to check over everything. On your homepage, I did forget, you want to make sure to put your email in here somewhere. So I'm just going to add myself a little text box down here. And email me at Now, this is going to be very important because you are going to want to make sure the email that you put in is a non-Gordon email, because this is going to be used pretty much after you're graduated from Gordon or getting ready to graduate from Gordon. So you won't be able to keep your Gordon email for a long time after you graduate. So you want to make sure you're using your personal email that you're going to be checking because again, the goal is for potential employers to see this and then contact you. So make sure you use your non-Gordon email there. All right, so we're all finished. So I'm going to come over here to publish. And then the first time you publish it, it's going to ask you to use your web address. And I would definitely just use your first and last name and portfolio. That'll make it easy for people to use it. Now, you can work on this over time. You can create this now and then work on it and then save it and then come back and work on it. That's fine. Just the first time you do save it, it's going to lock in that web address. So we're going to publish it. And now it's been published. And so, say later at another date, we need to come back to our Google slide and work on it, or our Google site and work on it. We can just easily go to Google Sites, come back into your Google site, and then you'll just be able to click on it and continue to work on it if you need to. Also, at any time, you can publish it, or you can also preview it if you want to see what it's going to look like. So we'll preview it, and this is what it looks like on a regular a regular desktop or laptop. So we have all of our information here. We go to this technology page. We see that. We click on this. It opens into my interactive slide. So everything's good there. So it has all that information on it. We click here. We click on view my resume. It opens up into my resume that can be viewed. So everything's working appropriately. You can also see what it would look like on a phone or a laptop. You can like see what it would look like on different things. And what's great about this Google Sites is it does adapt to whatever device you're using. So it will look, it'll look pretty good on a phone as well. And so that is what you're going to and so this is what you will submit to your Google your Google course or your Google Classroom as well. And so again, to get the link to submit to your Google Classroom, you'll just come to copy published site link, and then it should look something like sites.google.com/view/ whatever the name of your portfolio is, home. We're going to copy that link, and then we're going to put that into Google Classroom for grading, but that's also something you can put on your resume, or when you fill out an application online, you can throw that in there so that people can look and see what you are capable of.